Now then, geezers, welcome back to WezLife. So this is the third episode now. There hasn't been much of an update, to be honest, since the last time. Don't really have a huge, update on the podcast or anything like that. I will say though that I'm a bit, I still need you guys and your help. I need your input on what I can talk about. Like, I really, really do need it. I appreciate it too. If you've got any ideas on what you want me to talk about, please let me know. Because at the minute, I'm just, trying to find things that, I don't know, I'll just, interesting to me, stuff that I care about and that kind of thing. But I don't know if that's what you want or if it's what I don't know. You might not like it, but you'll see what I'm going to talk about today anyway. But yeah, I've had a lot of subscribers since starting this, so thanks for you guys for subscribing, and thank you for promoting it. I've had a few friends who've been promoting it. I just still find it quite funny, and I appreciate it. But I'm going to jump straight in. That's enough of podcast anyway. And we're going to start with Where's Wes. I do like starting with this because it's just like giving you an update of what I've been doing since the last episode. So since then, I've been to UBM reunion. As you know, if you've seen the first podcast, this summer I've spent a lot of time doing work with United Beach Missions, and every year after the summer's over, they run a weekend which is called UBM Reunion, which is kind of like a little conference, but you can go and you can meet up with everyone you've met over the summer and just, relax, have a laugh, and listen to some Bible teaching too. It's really good. It's only the second year that I've been to it. I went last year, which was good, but in previous years, I always felt like it was too soon after the summer for me, but I don't necessarily regret not going, but I wish I had have gone because these 2 years now have been really good. Like, this year was definitely far better than last year. It was amazing, for me personally. But yeah, so as I said, I've done a full summer of UBM. Well, almost a full summer. And that's been the third year that I've done it. So I did it in 2017 where I did 8 weeks. And then I did it in last year, 2018, where I did 8 weeks. In previous years, I've just done like 2 weeks. Started doing them when I was 15, and so I've been doing them for quite a long time now. And as you can expect, over that period of time, I've met a lot of different people and made a lot of great friendships along the way. And so going to this reunion is just really an amazing time to just meet up with people like that and just catch up with friends who you might not have seen in a while and just see how people are doing. So that's what I did this year. I just tried to spend as much time as possible just chatting with people because I'll be honest with you guys, I've got a bit of an issue with not an issue. I struggle with keeping in contact with people. I always have had a big struggle with it. I don't know what it is. I take a long time to reply sometimes, and sometimes I might never reply. It's just, I don't know, not necessarily lazy, but I'm a bit useless. But no, this year I've really tried to make an effort with that. I've been trying to stay in contact with people more and just catch up with people. So that's what I wanted to do while I was at reunion, and I spent a lot of time just chatting with friends, and so it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot, and the Bible teaching there was really good. I enjoyed that, and it was just a really encouraging weekend. I mean, I've got a funny highlight of the over the 3 days that it was on. Sorry, I'm just gonna have a drink of water because throat's a bit dry. Don't know about you guys, but every time I have a drink, I always have to make that noise at the end. But on the Friday when I arrived, I was talking to one of my close friends actually, which was nice to catch up. But halfway through the conversation, this bat came flying through the door, and we just kind of stopped and was like, "What the heck is that?" And there's a bat was just flying around in circles, going crazy. And then everyone was like, "Oh no, there's a bat! What are we gonna do?" And then I was like, "Right, we gotta get it." So I picked up this basket trying to chase it out, and it started flying further into the whole building. It was just going mental, and it started going crazy, and everyone was like trying to chase this bat and everything. People were screaming, and it was just so funny. And it actually, like, at one point, this it flew over this guy's head and pooed on his hair, which was it was really funny, but I felt a bit mean. Well, I felt a bit tight on him. Not mean, but yeah. And then, but at one point, it flew down these stairs, and it was going down this corridor, which was like a narrow corridor. And we're just all like, "What the heck? How are we gonna get this bat out?" And then it flew into the girls' toilets, and nobody wanted to go in. But then this one girl went in, and it just came flying past her, and I was like, "Flip me!" And then it went further down the corridor, but eventually we chased it to these doors, and then it flew out. But it was just a hectic moment, and it was just so funny. And yeah, that was probably one of the funniest parts of the weekend. And yeah, I got up to a load of other stuff while there, which was fun. Um, Played a really crazy game of, well, it was called Capture the Flag, but it wasn't really Capture the Flag. You had to have these little bits of cloth in your pocket, and then you had to run and get them to the other side of the other team's base, but they've got to try and pull it out of your pocket. But I didn't really have a good. Well, my tactic was good because I ended up getting one on to the other side. But what it was, me and my friend, we just tucked them in our back pockets and casually just walked next to each other, and we just talked about stuff and just made a bit of a loop around, and then casually just walked in, and we didn't even get noticed. So that was quite funny. Managed to do that. So yeah, that was fun. But yeah, that's what I've been doing anyway. UBM reunion. It was a good weekend, and I've been doing some work with uni and stuff. Not a lot to be honest, but yeah. So that's what I've been up to this weekend. And now I'm gonna jump into Wes says, and I'm gonna talk about road trips. Some of my close friends will know this already, but I'm big on road trips. I do enjoy driving. Well, I say I do enjoy driving, but I mean I do enjoy going on like long drives with friends and stuff, and just having a bit of a laugh. And yeah, I've been on a lot of road trips since I passed my driving test. So I passed when I was 17, and I remember like the day after I passed, I rang up my best mate, and he was like, "Oh, you passed your test?" I was like, "Yes." And he's like, "Right, let's go somewhere now." And I ended up driving all the way to Southport and then Blackpool. It was just a good laugh, and it was just, yeah, we had a really nice time. And I remember just being sat in some chippy in Blackpool, just thinking like, what the heck? I've got a car now. I can just go on road trips like this and stuff. And it's fun. So that was like the first time went on like a long drive and that kind of thing. And well, I passed my test in January. I did a lot of other big long drives and stuff, but the main kind of road trip that I did was at the end of that summer that year. Um, Back in, this would have been in 2016. Um, so I after you doing UBM that summer, um, one of my friends, there was three of us. We were together and we was in Wigan, and we rang up another friend of ours, and we said to him, "Do you want to come to Wigan and we'll go to the cinema and stuff, and it'll be a good time?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure. I'll get the train down now. You alright to pick me up?" And we were like, "Yeah, sure, sound." So we got the train, and while he was on the train, we were discussing, and we said, "Let's just prank him and say when we pick him up, we're not actually going to the cinema. We're going all the way to Scotland to John O'Groats on a road trip, and it'll be a good prank." And so we get to the train station, waiting outside in the car. He gets off the train, and we see him. And at this point, he's got a bottle of water, a pack of jelly tots in his coat. That's all he's got with him. And he comes over, gets in the car, and be like, "Oh, do you know what? We're not actually going to the cinema. We're going to John O'Groats in Scotland. We're going on a road trip." And he turns around and he's like, "All right, sound. Let me just ring my mum." And we're like, "What the heck?" We was trying to joke, but he was serious. He was up for it. So we sat there and was like, "Shall we just go? We've got time." So we had like 2 weeks before we all had to be back in well, studying and stuff. So we just kind of made the stupid decision of, right, we're going on this road trip. So he rang his mum and he said, "Mum, I'm not going to be home for a few days. I'm going to John O'Groats." And she was like, "All right, just have fun, be careful and stuff." And went back to mine, grabbed a load of gear, like grabbed a tent and what else did we get? Sleeping bags and stuff, and yeah, and then went back to my other friends and we got like fishing rods and different things like that. And then we just got in the car, went to the petrol station, filled up, and then off we went. I remember as well, I gave my mate, when I was filling up, I said, "Right, here you go, there's a tenner. Make sure you go and get some food that'll last us for the week." And he's like, "Alright, yeah, sound." I thought he was a sensible one out of us all. He goes into Sainsbury's, he comes back out. What do I see him with? He's got 2 baguettes, 2 jars of jam. I think they were both strawberry jam as well. It wasn't like 2 different flavours. Um, a bag of apples, a bag of no, it wasn't apples. It was bananas and oranges. A massive like bag of Walker's variety crisps. Um, and then he had 4 packets of uncooked pasta and what was the other thing? Like 2 massive like bottles of water. I was like, what the heck? So we've got half a baguette each, half a jar of jam each, and like I don't know, like 5 bags of crisps each. And, oh man, it was ridiculous. I was like, this is gonna last us 2 weeks. And at this point, we were all really poor students. We didn't have a lot of money at all. I think in my bank account that week I had about 50 quid, and I was like, how are we gonna get to John O'Groats and back on petrol and the food that we've just got? And oh man, it was crazy. And then yeah, I remember that night we ended up going to. Well, we drove all the way from Wigan to Carlisle, and it was really late when we got there. It was probably about I don't know 1 o'clock maybe in the morning, and so it was really dark. On the journey there, it was like a massive thunderstorm, which was really scary. Just seeing the lightning so close to us when we was on the motorway, and yeah, it was terrifying. But we got into Carlisle, didn't know where we were going to sleep or anything, so we just found a church, parked outside of it, and was like, yeah, it was a Saturday. This, so it was like, right, we're going to go to church in the morning. We'll just sleep here for the night. And oh my days, that was probably one of the worst night's sleep I've ever had in my life. Not the worst. I do know the worst. I'll leave that for another story. This was probably one of the worst night's sleep I've ever had. I 4 of us trying to sleep in a Chevrolet Matiz. Oh man, it was crazy. One of my mates actually, like in the middle of the night, he just got out of the car and he's like, "I can't do this anymore," and he just starts walking up down the road, and we're like, "What are you doing?" And I remember my mate was like trying to get out of the car, and he's like, "You gotta get in, get back in the car." And I just turned to him and said, "Shut up, we've got more room now that he's gone." But yeah, he did come back after a while. And another crazy point of that night was a group of guys just all walked past the car at like, I don't know, it was crazy hour in the morning, but we were all there trying to be really quiet because, we're all 17-year-olds just sleeping in the yellow car. And that was crazy. And then we in the morning went into the church and we just all took our toothbrushes in and was like, "Could we brush our teeth in your church? Is that alright?" Went to the church service and then off we went. And then any more highlights of that week? We went to Loch Lomond. That was really nice. That was beautiful there. We went to Loch Ness. Loch Ness. That was funny because when we went to Loch Ness, we arrived really late in the night and there's no lights around anywhere. It was pitch black and it was so spooky and the atmosphere was just, oh man, we were gonna get the tent out, but I was like, I ain't getting the tent out. I'm sleeping in the car. This is too scary for me. So I just slept in the car, and that was pretty scary. But it was really nice in the morning. Actually, the views were good. Um, yeah, while we went to Loch Lomond, actually, or Loch Lomond, whichever it is, we went to the town called Helensburgh, which I met up with a friend there, which was really fun. Had a great time. But then we went crabbing, and oh my days, we must have caught about 60 or 70 crabs. It was ridiculous, and it was in the short space of like an hour, and that was a good laugh. Other highlights, we went fishing a couple of times, or we tried to go fishing a couple of times. Didn't really catch a lot of stuff, to be honest, but the best point we went fishing, it was sea fishing. I couldn't tell you where the place was, but it was on the northeast of Scotland, somewhere near the top. And my friend who brought the fishing rods, he loves fishing. He was like, right, he was showing us how to fish, and he just gave us the rods and stuff, and then we were trying, and he was like, he gave a demonstration of like how to cast, and he just cast his rod out. Next minute, he's like, oh, I think I'm stuck on some seaweed, and as he's reeling in, he's got 4 mackerel attached to his line. And I'm like, what the heck? Here's us catching like little tiddlers, and he just one cast catches 4 mackerel. Unfortunately, though, one did fall off when he was pulling them in. Oh my days, 4 mackerel! It was crazy. And then we caught them 3. I think he did catch another one. No, he caught another 2 actually. I think we had 5 mackerel. We had this little bucket next to us, water and put them in. But yeah, we took them, we cooked them, and we ate them. And let me tell you, that's the best fish I've ever eaten in my whole life. It was like cooked an hour after catching it, and it was so fresh and so nice. I would love to go back to that moment, just have another bite of that fish. How delicious it was. Um, yeah, I couldn't tell you where that was anyway. That town, can't remember the name of it, but it was fun. And eventually we did. We didn't all 4 of us didn't get to John O'Groats. Only 2 of us did in the end because of time. So dropped a friend off in Glasgow, and he got the train back and stuff. And then we dropped another friend of ours off at he got a ferry back to Ireland. But then the 2 of us who were remaining, we did get to John O'Groats, and it was really nice there. It was so peaceful there, and just I remember just being there in that moment, thinking like, what the heck is my life like? I just I was supposed to be going to the cinema, and now I'm here in John O'Groats. I had no money. I'd thought ring my parents up, send me some money, so I could just get petrol to get back home, and it was just, oh man, looking back, it's so funny. But I remember at that time I was like, what am I doing here right now? But yeah, it was funny. It was a good laugh. So yeah, that was. I think the next day we drove all the way to Loch Lomond. We were gonna spend the night there, and then it was raining, so we just drove all the way back home. Man, it was a long drive though. That journey back home, it must have been about 9 hours. Um, but it was a good time, a good laugh, and I think that'll always hold a special place in my heart because that's the first long road trip I went on. It was like 2 weeks long. It was a good laugh. Um, yeah, I know I was really hungry as well a lot that week, and um, actually, this is another road trip that I went on, but it's just I remembered it. It was funny. We we had this kettle, and we tried to cook spaghetti in the kettle, and then I remember just pouring the spaghetti out of the kettle, and yeah, just dumb stuff like that. But yeah, that was the first road trip I ever went on. Really, I've been on a lot of other road trips since then. A lot of good drives and stuff. I even went on a road trip through Italy, but I'll leave that for another podcast. Let me know if you want it. Leave a like if you want that. Actually, do you want me to go on well, share the time of well, it was my adventures in Italy, really. I did a lot of good stuff in Italy, a lot of crazy stuff, but yeah, it was mainly a massive road trip. So let me know if you want that. But yeah, I'd really say to you guys, if you've never been on a road trip, grab some close friends. I think it's funnier if you've got a banger of a car. That's not like the best car ever. Because I have a Chevrolet. It is bright yellow. It's almost like an in-betweeners car, really. And I call it the cheese on wheels. And it's still going strong now, to be honest. Well, strong is a very strong word, but I've still got it. And, it's got a lot of memories in that car. A lot of memories. Some really good, some really funny, some sad memories, but, a lot of memories. And I'm going to be sad when I got to let that car go one day. or when it eventually dies. But yeah, I'd say to you guys, just grab a bunch of friends and just be spontaneous and go on a road trip like that, because like it's a good laugh and you'll make memories that you'll have forever. Um, and yeah, if you ever want to go on a road trip with me, just let me know and I'll probably be down for it, because I'm always up for a good road trip. Don't have as much time as I used to. Like my road trips used to be a lot longer than they are now. I still go on a road trip. I'll have a good laugh with you. But yeah, that's Wes says on the road trips. I've not talked about every road trip I've been on, because this podcast could go on for about 2 hours, I reckon. But that's the first one I ever went on, like I said, and most memorable, I reckon. Um, so yeah, that's Wes says. I'm gonna put my fez on now. Wes in a fez. But I feel a bit stupid, right? I put this fez on and I'm like, right, there you go, fez is on. It's on right now. You can choose to believe me or not. But I've still not got anything to do. I bought this fez to come on the podcast and do something with it, but I've not got anything at the minute. So I'm thinking though, I'll just do the Wes in a fez answering Quez. Question times with Wes while he's wearing a fez. I'm probably gonna get some. I don't know what's. I'm gonna find. I don't know what the best one is, but I'm gonna find some kind of way of doing anonymous questions or something. So then you guys can ask me questions, and then while I'm wearing the fez, I'll answer the questions, because I reckon that would be good, to be honest. Unless you've got any other ideas of what I can do in the fez. Other people have said like, why don't you just put the fez on and then tell us you're doing something and then do it? But I think that's a bit silly. It's like, it's a podcast at the end of the day. You're not here to see me, and you know I'm wearing a fez, but you just got to believe that. There's no point in me wearing a fez and you believing that I'm wearing that, but also believing I'm doing something while wearing it. It's just a bit too much. So yeah, Wes in a fez. Taking it off now. One day that segment will be a lot longer. Alright. Update on Wes and his Bez. My Bez is he's coming on some point. I'm gonna try and get him in the next episode. I think it'll be funny. I'll see if he wants to do it. He's in Italy at the minute. But as soon as he gets back, I'm gonna ask him, does he want to get on the fourth episode and get involved? Have a good laugh together. I reckon he'll probably say yeah. So be ready for that. It'll be good. Yeah. And finally, it's wise words with Wes now. Wise words with Wes. You know what? I've been thinking the first 2 episodes I've given kind of wise words, and well, I think they've been wise anyway. But I think it's kind of relating towards uni. So I know a lot of my friends have been starting uni this week, and so I'm gonna give you more wise words in that kind of university I don't know aspect, whatnot. But yeah, the wise words that I've got. This is a strong one to me. I'm gonna actually have a podcast one. Well, I'm gonna release an episode. I don't. Do I say release a podcast or release an episode? I don't know. But I'm gonna release one where I'm talking about education and stuff, because that's a huge thing to me. Like, I've got a lot of thoughts and stuff on it, and I can tell you my story on that side. But yeah, I'm gonna say to you, you start in university and stuff, and I know it's a bit late in people have already received their GCSE grades and A level grades and stuff. But my wise words to you are, don't let your grades and the university you go to, if you go into university or you go to university, don't let them define who you are, because I don't really have the best grades and qualifications at all, and I don't go to an amazing university. I study locally in Wigan, but I don't let that define who I am as a person, and I don't think anyone else should, because I know people who, it's one of the questions where they go like, "Oh, what university did you go to and stuff," and you can. I sense that I get judged when I tell people, "Oh, I just study at Wigan," and I know other people judge people over that. But I don't think we should be like that. I think, like I said, I need to talk about this in another episode, because I'm passionate about it and I've got a lot of strong opinions. But don't let your grades define who you are as a person. Don't let people, you know, see if see who you are because of your grades and what university you go to. You've got to show people who you are based on your, your personality, the way you act, the way you are towards people and stuff like that. It doesn't all revolve around, university and grades and stuff. So I don't know what I'm kind of saying here. Just don't let people I don't know. Try to look at yourself and not just see what grades you are or how smart you are and stuff like that. I think you'd be happier that way. I don't know. I hope you get some kind of wisdom from that anyway. Um, I don't know what I'm really trying to say, to be honest. Well, I do know what I'm trying to say, but yeah, I hope you've got some wisdom from it. That's all I can say. Don't let your grades define who you are. Just get out into the world, be yourself. If people don't like you, then all I can say is it's 21st century and people aren't gonna, be happy with everything and everyone. They're always gonna have an opinion. I guess you just gotta get into a habit of not, oh sorry, my doorbell's ringing. Don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, get into a habit of not letting that upset you, I guess. But yeah, thank you for listening and joining me on this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, as I continue to say, please help me out. Let me know what you want. Let me know what you think. And yeah, as long as I enjoy doing this and people are still getting enjoyment out of it, it's going to continue. Hopefully, it'll continue for a long time and won't go dead. But yeah, thank you for joining me. And I still need some kind of outro or something and an intro because I don't know. I never really know how to start and end it. But goodbye, guys. This is the well, yeah. Goodbye.